So, we're back again. This time, for the last time, on this world. Watch until the end if you want to see me die in the most stupidest way possible. And also subscribe, because, Alright, a very short recap of Friday's video. I built a village closer to my house, and one of my idiot villagers got infected. So that's the first order of business. But before that, on my way back from that shit show from last episode, I encountered the reincarnation of Margaret Thatcher, and I did what I had to do. Unfortunately, she dropped grey loot. After I went to sleep, I went back to the village so I can cure that stupid villager. After that, I was assaulted by a villager when I stole their bed. As for revenge, I kidnapped his colleague and sent him off to my personal village. I started to experiment on the villagers by turning down the render distance and the entity distance. This should be able to make me infinitely trade with villagers without them restocking. So I created a long rail track that I would push myself, which would lead me into a powered rail track that would power me away from them into like the fog, which would disable the villagers and hopefully make it so that I could trade with them infinitely. I started working on buildings so that the villagers won't feel claustrophobic or they feel like they're being trafficked. So thanks to the Minecraft wiki, I was able to rebuild or build villager buildings. So, if I wanted a populated village, I set one of the villagers still left in the chamber free. Well, so he can be like a cleric, because I needed him for my little ender dragon thing. I wanted to give him some sort of place to stay, so I started working on the second village building. After the second building, I started to build the third one, which was across the path, or road, if you think about it. The next thing I built was this little swamp house that would be the job location of a fisherman. I know that they're pretty useless, but it does seal the illusion, right? While I was transporting villagers to the village, the next batch of HOA representatives tried to kill me and my unfortunate villager buddy in an assassination attempt. I saved my villager buddy and myself, but in order to kill them without alerting everybody else, I had to lure them about 100 blocks from the nearest villager so it wouldn't trigger a raid. I grabbed a milk bucket and I waited for them to swim or wade over, whatever you call it, and kill them all. After solving that debacle and sleeping throughout the night, I lured the villager into the library, and now I have a fully employed library in my village. I started to work on this boardwalk, deck, jetty thing so I can expand much later on when I have more time. built another building, but instead of this being for the villagers, this would be a stable for my horses to do whatever they want while I'm out. And last but not least, I built a blacksmith for the, whatever you call it, the toolsmith to live in for his little work job. Personally, I think that the blacksmith was the best one I built from the blueprints because, you know, it looks like the original. You know, back then when I had a PS3 with Minecraft on it, this would probably just be like the second place I'd go to in the village, other than that really big house. For the next day, I started preparing to go to the stronghold and kill the Ender Dragon. But first, it was raining, which, I don't know, it probably means a sign of superstition. I don't know. But, yeah. Since I don't have a neckbeard amount of knowledge on this game, I'm going to go the old-fashioned route and just follow the Ender Pearl. I went to a savanna biome and the Eye of Ender led me to this really big crater lake, which is kinda cool, but, you know, I had to dig through all that water so I could go down to the stronghold, and if that stronghold was actually there. Our next task is to find the end portal itself, which took me around like 8 minutes to find because, you know, strongholds are like some sort of labyrinth for some reason. I mean, yeah, dungeons are labyrinths. After I set up the end portal, I then created another portal so that I could get to my village and to the stronghold as fast as I could. So I would have to build another network that would lead me to home and the stronghold and back. Alright, so funny story. The last time I had a hardcore world, I made it up all the way to the Ender Dragon, but in the way I died, it was the stupidest way possible. That was because I didn't bring any sort of food or any healing item to the Ender Dragon fight, and I died right there. So, you know, it's kind of a relief that I went back. And I think it took me like a whole week just to like film all of this, so. I was feeling extravagant, so I built a staircase instead of like pillaring up to the End Dragon, which in hindsight I think it really would have killed me if like the Ender Dragon found out I was doing this. It would just send me home. Though I did prove victorious over the Ender Dragon, this would be the least of my worries in the next 5 minutes. I started to build a pillar so I could go inside the nether gate, not the nether gateway, the end gateway, so I could go get an elytra on the other side. Since I was stuck on a Zen-like island, I had to go island hopping so I could go to the big island and maybe find an end city. But unfortunately, my patience has waned, and I started to resort to more riskier tactics like, I don't know, what you call it? Pillaring up and throwing an end portal and ender pearl. I saw an end city, but it didn't have an end ship, but I still wanted to check it out. But once again, I did the pillar and the ender pearl thing, but unfortunately, this time I wasn't so lucky. And you could tell what happened next.